Thank you.
Hey, Nick. This is gonna be
Loud. Wrong spot. Thank you for warning me.
Yep.
Yes, yes. It is, it is.
Yeah, it took me a second. I don't think.
Yeah, that's, I knew that roughly. The last 2 years it was 6.
budget meeting.
So moved. or
Closed meeting?
Second?
Support.
Okay, and a roll call vote, please. Lynn?
I just want to clarify, this is not a closed session, correct?
We're closing, excuse me, sorry to miss it.
Closing,
Is it
okay.
closed? We're closing the.
Closing regular
The regular
session
session
then,
in
okay.
order to go into and open the budgetary discussion, which is required.
Clear, yes, thank you.
Thank you. No, thank you for clarifying.
Jody Lundquist,
Yes.
Laura Ottinger,
Yes.
Ken Warner,
Yes.
Pam Horn,
Yes.
Andy Robichek,
Yes.
Heather Weaver,
Yes.
Mark Healy.
Yes. And with that, I'd like to welcome Troy, Vice President, Finance and Administration, to the podium.
Okay, no presentation today, just up here to remind you that we have proposed a millage rate of 1.9788, which is the maximum allowable rate under the HEPI amendment. We also have proposed a $60.4 million operating budget that's balanced. It has resources for, of course, our core operations, but our strategic plan, debt service payments at 100%, transfers for deferred maintenance technology, and strategic fund. And we also propose a 4% tuition rate increase for our students, which most of them, as we know, benefit from the various state programs that are offered right now. So I'm here to pause and I guess ask any final questions on the budget, millage rates, or tuition rates.
Any questions for Troy?
Yep.
Yes, Kennedy.
Since, as we know, the state hasn't adopted its budget yet, I assume we've adopted a conservative income figure from the state for the purposes of this budget.
Yeah, for the purposes of this budget, we are not planning on a state increase. So if we do get an increase from the state, that'll be upside. If the state decides to cut funding in some way, then we'll have to react at that time.
Okay, thank you, Kennard. Any other questions? Okay, with that, I would like to, thank you, Troy. With that, I'd like to open it up to public comment, and I would like to welcome David Grams to the podium. Mr. Grams? Just a quick note here, Mr. Graham, each person wishing to address the board present, yep, we have this information from you, thank you. And the topic address should be related to the business within the jurisdiction of the board, and then the comments will be limited to 3 minutes in length. The board will take the public remarks into consideration, but will not comment at this time.
Thank you. Good evening, members of the board and President Nisley. My name is David Grams, and I've been a neighbor at NMC for 25 years. I'm here tonight to respectfully share my observations on what I see as the deterioration of the campus grounds. I have provided you with a 9-page packet of examples that are easy to spot with a quick stroll around campus. While none of these examples represent house on fire emergency, when considered in their totality, they begin to show a clear pattern of disrepair. Pages 1 and 2 show structural neglect on the sidewalks, curbs, parking lots, some of which are immediate safety concerns. For example, the tactile pad has been filled in with a patch that likely no longer meets ADA requirements, and deep cracks in our sidewalks present tripping hazards. Other examples include a hole in the wall over the Dennis Museum and wood decay at the clock tower. Pages 3 and 4 highlight a pattern of halfway done jobs and lingering neglect. Last year, workers began laying down weed barriers and mulch, but abruptly abandoned the project before finishing. You can also see where plastic sprinkler hoses were left exposed and cut, and where old piles of leaves were never removed from under the pines. The remaining pages show flower beds and native plantings choked with weeds and saplings. Somewhere along the line, it appeared that the decision was made to switch from natural mulch to rock beds in some areas. I assume this was to save work, but rocks require maintenance too. Weeds grow right through them, and without constant upkeep, they just create a harsh, neglected vibe. Even the ornamental grasses in the perennial bed on the south side of the Dennis were partially mowed over. Significant taxpayer dollars were invested to beautify these glorious grounds. It's disheartening to see that money and energy go to waste. Why bother making such nice things if they aren't going to be cared for? On the college's website, it states that a strong brand is an asset, just like NMC's human resources and campus buildings, and that this new branding strategy is designed to make NMC stand out. But the physical campus is the first thing people see when they come here. It's a critical part of that brand. And right now, instead of matching the college's momentum, the visible neglect on the grounds reflects a lack of care. I'm speaking today with the understanding that this budget is locked in tonight. However, I hope that you will use your oversight to ensure that these issues are prioritized using the discretionary maintenance funds within this budget. Official board policy lists stewardship as a core value, defining it as investing responsibly in the physical, financial, and environmental resources entrusted to your care. Proactive maintenance is just asset management, and right now it doesn't appear as though enough attention has been given to this matter. Thank you for your time tonight, and thank you for your service to this institution and the community.
Thank you, Mr. Grimes. And with that, we will adjourn the public budget hearing, and I would ask that we do a roll call vote to re-enter into our regular meeting.
So moved. Oh, yeah.
Motion?
Support.
Roll call, Kennard Weaver,
Yes.
Ken Warner,
Yes.
Pam Horn,
Yes.
Andy Robichuk,
Yes.
Laura Ottinger,
Yes.
Jody Lundquist,
Yes.
Mark Healy.
Yes. Okay, back now with mission and values. I'd like to welcome Zinnia Burks to the podium. Zinnia, welcome.
Good evening, everybody. Like you said, my name is Cindy Burks. I am a recent graduate from NMC with an associate's in science and arts. I was asked to come here and talk a little bit about a project and some things that I'm proud to have achieved during my time as a student here. In my time at NMC, I attended both the LPN nursing program as well as got an associate's in biology, And in my last year in that, I took advantage of both the new advanced scientific research courses and the next endorsement. In the ASR courses, I started a research project that I've been working on for the past year, and I have been very happy with it. In that course, I started a project looking at the affordability and access of menstrual products for women in northern Michigan and what lack of access looks like from a physical health standpoint and as far as stigma. The next endorsement and the program allowed me to get a grant both to fund the logistics of hosting a research survey, as well as to attend a public health conference, which I was very pleased to go to. I learned a lot there. I was inspired by many other students doing research. In the last year, I've collected over 300 responses for my research project. I presented at the Michigan Epidemiology Conference in April. I graduated this last semester. I received the next endorsement and the second year biology award, and am now working on finalizing my findings from that research into a submission to the Michigan Journal of Public Health. And I'm very pleased with it and want to thank NMC for all the programs that helped me do that.
Well, thank you. What an amazing story, and congratulations on not only your accomplishments here, but really extending yourself out into some really interesting topics for your research. So I'd love to, if you don't mind, sticking around for a second, opening up to any questions that we have from the trustees. Yes, Ken?
I'm just curious what your future plans are.
I will be attending University of Michigan in the fall, going to their cellular and molecular biology major. I got my LPN license here, and I'm going to be working as an LPN, but I'm doing all the courses to potentially apply to medical school in the future. Either way, between nursing or med school, I will definitely stay in healthcare.
Congratulations.
Yes, Jody?
You're obviously a curious and ambitious person. What inspires your curiosity and your ambition?
I'm not sure. I think it's more that the world around me inspires me, and the curiosity just comes naturally.
Fair enough.
So beyond, if you go to medical school, do you have a particular brand of doctor that you think, I know it's early, but anything that you see on the horizon for you once if you decide to go that route?
Not anything set in stone. I really enjoy working with the public. I enjoy women's health, which I've gotten some time to study, in my courses and with this research project. But I really don't know. I'm still figuring that out.
Okay, great. Any other, I'm sorry.
No, sorry.
Any other comments or questions? Pam?
Just wondering if you found a faculty member at U of M who might keep you going in the area of research?
Working on it.
I'll bet you will.
Sending some emails.
Great.
Well, you are a fantastic example for us to hold up to the community as a success here, and we really appreciate all of your hard work, time, and commitment that you've spent here with NMC, and we look forward to following you into the future to see what happens with your career. So congratulations, and thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you all.
Okay, and with that, we are up next, the faculty report, Strategic Sea-Lift Midshipman Program with Lieutenant Morgan Housefield, Navy Liaison Officer at the Great Lakes Maritime Academy. Welcome, Lieutenant.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. My name is Morgan Housefield. I was a 2017 graduate of the Great Lakes Maritime Academy. I went through their Strategic Sea Lift Officer program when I was there. So I kind of come full circle, teaching what I learned. As part of my career out of GLMA, I work as a merchant mariner. I've sailed on the lake for multiple years as a civilian mariner on the freighters. And then part of the program, I also got my Navy commission and have done 2 deployments to Bahrain, helping with the Navy's logistics in the Middle East. So strategic sea lift officers is what our midshipmen commissioned into. There are different specialties when you become a naval officer. So what we do is very, very specialized. We deal with the logistics of the Navy. We provide licensed merchant mariners who know how to handle ships, who know how to do the engineering on ships, and can provide emergency logistics support if we were to go to war. We also supplement during our non-war times. So the program we have at the school is very much, and it's an ROTC program, but more specialized than what you would get at University of Michigan or a big college like that. So they do the program at the Maritime Academy, become a licensed merchant mariner, and they also get the Navy commission in the reserves. They have to do 2 weeks a year with the reserves, but the rest of the time they're expected to maintain their license sailing as a civilian because those are the skills that the Navy wants. So they get a commission, they can still get a retirement out of the Navy doing their 2 weeks. It's a really great program. And then they also get financial help while they're going through school. As of last year, the Maritime Administration increased that to $64,000 for their entire time at school, which is a little over half of their commitment for going to the Maritime Academy. The requirements for them, they participate in our program. We meet multiple times a week outside of classes. They have to get through Navy medical, they have to get through a fitness test. We have a GPA requirement, they have to maintain a 2.5 overall GPA without failing any classes, so at least a 2.0 in all their classes. And then once they graduate, they have certain commitments to the Navy and the Maritime Administration. They have to sail on their license for so many years, 5 years I think it is, and they have to stay compliant with the Navy, maintain their fitness, do their 2 weeks a year, all their medical, all their administrative stuff. So this is what our program looks like. Outside of their regular college classes, there's Naval Science 1, which our entire student body takes, but Naval Science 2 and Leadership and Ethics are specific to to the midshipmen in our program. The rest of the student body can take them as electives, but they don't have to. Outside of class, we have a Naval Science Lab, which is kind of another class, but we get everybody together, teach them about how to be a naval officer, what is it to be in the Navy, all the required trainings. We do group physical fitness 2, sometimes 3 times a week if they need extra help. That's a picture from back in February. We had Rear Admiral Frost out, who was our flag sponsor. He likes to do PT with us when he comes to visit. And then we also will do drill practices. Those times vary, but you've seen what our drill team can do. We participate in graduation with the color guard. We do the Mariners Memorials color guard. We have been a program at the Maritime Academy since 1994. Averaging, we commission 6 officers out of our senior class every year. We had 6 this year, we'll have 6 again next year. I think we have about 22 in the program right now, counting all year groups. Some highlights of the events that we do. You guys have seen us at the color guard. That picture is from this year's graduation. We are very active as part of us being an ROTC unit. We help out with the junior ROTC at Kingsley High School. We've done training weekends on our ship. Unfortunately, we got snowed out this year. It was supposed to be that super horrible March weekend. Looking forward to rescheduling it. The kids love that one. This was from our commissioning this May. We had 3 commissioned early in February, and then these were our 3 that commissioned in May. We had General Reed, who is the head of U.S. Transportation Command, so he deals with the joint transportation, anything the military needs shipped, Transportation Command does it. So it was really amazing and surprising to have a 4-star general say yes to come to our little 3-person commissioning. Like, oh, we'll invite him. He won't say yes. He said yes, and then we panicked. I was like, planning for a wedding's easier than that. But that we were really, really honored to have someone so important come and think that we did such a great job that he would come for our 3-person commissioning. So that was amazing. And then he stayed and was one of the guest speakers at our graduation dinner. I just wanted to share that with you guys. I know GLMA is kind of a hidden gem on the NMC side, and I think that the Strategic Sealift Midshipman program is even more hidden inside that gem.
Well, thank you, Lieutenant. Inspiring story, and thank you for sharing information about the program. Before I open it up to questions from the trustees, I'm always curious about the time in which in your life where you said, NMC, the Great Lakes Maritime Academy is for me. Can you talk a little bit about how you found your way here?
It was I was surprised when I found it, honestly. I spent most of my life in Maryland. I'm one of the non-traditional students also. I already had a bachelor's degree when I came here, but life, and I needed to do something new, so I started looking at all the maritime academies, and my dad pushed me. He's like, you really should go look at GLMA. And what got my attention was we have the pilotage program here for the mates, which is an even more specialized part of the program. And we are the only school that offers that. We are also the only school that offers a 3-year program for people coming in with prior college. So I wasn't going to have to start completely over, and that pilotage I knew was going to give me that extra leg up, and it was more fun.
Well, fantastic, and we're so glad that you made that decision. You're a great example of the program, and we appreciate now, full circle, you being back. With that, I'd like to open it up to the trustees for questions. Well, thank you. Oh, I'm sorry, yes, Andy.
The SSMP part of the naval officers, can someone go through the program and it's only SSMP, or is there another option as well?
So they do have the option to go active duty. They could go into any field in the Navy active duty. They can also go into other branches of the military if they wanted. We've had midshipmen interested in getting a commission with the Coast Guard. One of my midshipmen thinks he wants to be a SEAL right now, which is great for him if he can do it, but yeah, they can do whatever path they want, but we definitely...
Most of them go this way.
Most of them go that way because it is what we do, and it's kind of unique with the reserves because if you're not familiar with any of the military reservists, a lot of the times what they do in the military has absolutely no relation to what they do in the civilian life. They may be an aircraft mechanic on their 1 weekend a month in the Navy, and then they're a banker the rest of the week. This is really unique where our military and our civilian jobs are the same thing. The only other one that I can think of that's like that is the doctors.
Interesting. Okay, any other questions? Well, thank you, Lieutenant. We appreciate your service. We appreciate your expertise being here and delivering to our students. We appreciate it. Thank you. With that, it is now time for any public input. Lynn, do we have any for the regular meeting? Okay. And next, invite President Nisley for his President's update.
I'll begin picking up where Troy left off with the budget, given that today's about the budget, and I'd like to publicly acknowledge the work that Troy's led with the entire college over the last many months. I think it was highly collaborative and obviously stewardship-minded, getting us to a place of a balanced budget. I'll remind everyone, which I know you're as equally painfully aware, that it is incredibly uncertain times. And as Kennard pointed out, so uncertain that we don't even have a state budget. And as of 2 Fridays ago, the House Speaker, Matt Hall, made the threat that maybe we won't have a budget by July 1st. And he's willing to wait until October or later until we might have a presumed Republican governor. So that's the kind of state we're in right now. And, what Troy's been able to do is make sure that we've got a conservative budget, which means, yes, there's some belt tightening, but I think that it was done in a way that wasn't what I would call extraordinary belt tightening. The good news, too, is we didn't have to access any reserves or one-time source of funds. And we're continuing contributions to our reserves, so things like deferred maintenance and technology funds, and reminding you that we've got about $1.2 million of additional debt servicing this year with the aviation as well as the power plant bonds. So I'm really proud of the work that, again, Troy's led with the entire college. Best of all, what I am most proud is that it's aligned with our strategic plan. So these are things that support what we're saying are the most important things at the college. And I think probably the best year ever that we can look to and say we've got that alignment in terms of resourcing. And all of that, as Troy mentioned, is done, I think, with a relatively small ask of the 4% tuition increase. And I'd remind you that Troy shared the CFI, that metric, last meeting, where we're at a 6.9, which is the highest we've been in over a decade. So the college is in the best financial shape that it's been in over the last 10 years as well. So I just wanted to highlight that again to say publicly, thanks for Troy. A couple other things on a very positive note. I think everyone's aware that the MCCA has an awards process, 3 separate awards, one for outstanding faculty, one for outstanding alum, and the other for outstanding staff. And only one person gets or earns each of those awards from all 31 community colleges. So this is the best of the best. And we just found out that Stephen Siciliano is the recipient of this year's Staff of the Year award. So you'll get to see Stephen get awarded that up at the annual meeting this summer. And I'll remind you also, it was 3 or 4 years ago that Susie Janis earned the Alum of the Year, and last year Christy McDonald earned the Faculty of the Year. MCCA doesn't have a Triple Crown, but I guess I'd call it the Triple Crown Award, that we've earned all 3 of those awards in the last 4 years, and I think it speaks to the quality of our people, and obviously Stephen earning that this year. So we're very proud of that. One other thing that I'd highlight, this is one of those things that, you know, could go unnoticed, but it's really a big deal. Jason was contacted about a month ago from CIGLR, C-I-G-L-R. It's an acronym for the Cooperative Institute for Great Lakes Research, which is housed at the University of Michigan. It's a consortium of the University of Michigan, NOAA, the primary funder for Great Lakes research, as well as 10 other regional universities who are doing research around the Great Lakes. And we, NMC, have been asked to submit an application to join CIGLR. It's only happens once every 10 years because the consortium has a 10-year agreement. This year the agreement has come up. It means we would be the only 2-year college amongst all R1 research universities. And I think it, you know, beckons back to Hans Van Summeren and the work that he's done over the last decade, the work that Jason's perpetuated, and obviously John Luchko and the entire Water Studies Institute staff. So really proud. Again, keep in mind that it's not, we haven't been given the green light, but we've been asked to apply, which is a really big deal, and Jason's been burning the lamp night oil, getting that thing prepared by July 1st. The last thing that I'd share is just to highlight, it was in the consent agenda reports regarding the foundation, but to highlight the work that Catherine is leading there. And I won't bore you with all the details, but the most important thing is Catherine has led us in the largest fundraising year ever for the foundation. Not just in a campaign, this is a non-campaign year. It's the largest year ever with over $16 million raised. So hats off to Catherine. But I share that as just a springboard to say we're now moving ahead with the campaign. And Catherine has been working busily to help us pull together the steering committee. We are beginning the ask process of the steering committee members and co-chairs, and we hope over the next couple weeks to have those members in place. The planning phase will then extend through the end of December, and then in the new year, move into the quiet phase. So hats off to Catherine's leadership and the great momentum that we're building on with the foundation fundraising. I think those are the key things I'd share with you and open it up to any questions or comments.
Nick, I just, this thought is just hitting me, and I'm going to bring it back to Mr. Graham's public comment. First of all, when you look at, well, I'm in my 6th year here, and in those 6 years, this is the most unsettling time in the state that I've witnessed, but it's the best budget I've ever witnessed. And so I just put an exclamation point on your kudos to Troy and the entire team and our board's involvement as well, and certainly your leadership on where we are financially. And then when you throw in where we are with the foundation, and I look at the why of all of this, our success and where we're going, I can't help but come back to not one thing, all of the things that we're doing, and that includes some of our branding. I think it greatly includes our communications and branding and just how we're pulling this all together in our strategic plan. And now back to Mr. Graham's comments at the public input is during the budget hearing is I am interested in our grounds, and it is important to the rest of what we do. And as we are in very good financial position, I'm just curious what your thoughts are on the some of the situation of the grounds, and we've had conversations about keeping it up, and are we short-staffed in that area, or?
Yeah, I'll say a couple of points and then invite Troy to share anything too. But I'd say one, everyone at the college knows grounds are one of our 5 pillars, of the brand platform, that the environment, of the college campus, and I think everyone takes it very seriously. So anything that he might be raising isn't because we don't care, we do care deeply about the grounds.
I know that.
And I know you're not suggesting that. I just want to reinforce that. In terms of staffing, yes, we've had staffing challenges. And in fact, we just lost one and brought back, another grounds person. So staffing is always a challenge within our facilities area. Not that that's an excuse. We need to work our way through it. But Troy, I don't know if you'd add anything else to that.
I haven't seen the photos, but I'm not going to stand up here and make excuses either. We had full turnover in our grounds team back in October, so there was a point back in October when we had 0 people on grounds.
Wow.
Which was tough. We have a four-person ground team crew that we've had that actual level of service for the last decade, but with newer people and more to do, because the grounds team actually supports a lot of our events set up and moving things around campus, which we're doing a lot of that right now too. So, but I do think it's an opportunity to look at the resourcing we have and see what we can do better.
Yeah, I appreciate hearing that, and I appreciate understanding some of the impact that we're having, and there's nothing that we as a board can really need to do. We're not holding anything up in that area. We're fully financed for it. It's a capacity, it's a staffing issue, and it sounds like you're on top of it. And I do know it's an important part of our strategies, hence why I'm bring it all up, because I'll go back to the beginning. I am so impressed by our success right now with all the extra challenges too. So thank you. Appreciate it.
Kenner.
You mentioned the recent success of the foundation, but the foundation has been one of, if not the leading foundation for community colleges in the state for a number of years, hasn't it?
Yeah. And in fact, Catherine and the team just recently completed some benchmarking. As you might expect, colleges like Grand Rapids and Macomb being the 2 of the 3 largest, actually they only come in at about 50 to 60% the size of our endowment. So we literally are the largest endowment of any community college in the state of Michigan.
State, right? Huh.
Any other questions for Nick? Okay, thank you, Nick. And for my board chair update, it is an honor to sit on this board and appreciate all the trustees who put their time in at this board, bringing your passion for NMC and its mission. And on occasion, we get a chance to single someone out and take a moment, a little extra appreciation, although everyone is appreciated. And today, I would like to give notice to Andy, trustee Andy Robichek, and to pass along this fantastic 5-year trustee pin. Andy? If you could look at the camera and congratulations, thank you for your service. And with that, that is my chair report. So we're gonna move on.
Okay.
We are now going to pass it over to Pam Horn for the MCCA Board of Directors update. Pam?
Thank you very much. It is my pleasure to represent you, along with President Nisley, to MCCA, and had a delightful time at their meeting. I must say, I hated to miss the fellows' dinner, but I was on a boat ride out to Lake Michigan that evening, and it was lovely, with wonderful company, and I met a number of the new presidents, some who Nick hasn't even met yet. And there will be a lot of new presidents. I said that in my report, but I just wanted to emphasize there are 7 presidencies that are in the process of turning over. Something I think we all need to keep in the back of our minds for a variety of reasons. I also wanted to mention a little bit about MCCA's strategic plan. I talked about it a little bit, but there is going to be some very heavy lifting required of the executive committee, because the past strategic plan cannot just be tweaked. It came into effect with the hiring of Brandy Johnson as the executive director, and quite frankly, she's done a great job. She's put many things in place that were a part of that strategic plan. So this will probably look somewhat different. We did have opportunities for feedback, a separate trustee focus group and a separate president focus group. And in the trustee focus group, which I participated in, that was not required, but I thought it would be important to do that. One of the things that was emphasized was MCCA having a unique opportunity to provide additional training for trustees, orientations for trustees, online, written, perhaps getting some modules together that could then, campuses could incorporate into their orientations, or in-service training for new trustees and continuing trustees. So I'm excited about that opportunity, as well as MCCA having an opportunity to look at how could trustees network more with one another, sharing information about policy and practice, posing questions to each other. How do you handle this? How do you do advocacy work in your community or in the state, that kind of thing. I will say at that time, it was the beginning of the month, there was bipartisan optimism about the budget then, which was kind of dashed a couple weeks later. So if this is also an opportunity, since MCCA is well-staffed now, and also from everything we heard from the legislators who participated, very well-respected in Lansing as effective advocates, that this could also be an opportunity perhaps to take a look at the Michigan Community College Act and see if there's a need for modernization. So I think that may be something, yeah, Laura's going, yes. And I think Brandy feels the same way. How that would happen, will there be a study committee? It's hard to say, but I just wanted to mention that to you as well. So just a couple of other highlights. And Nick, I don't know if you wanted to say anything. Nick had to participate remotely because it was a busy week.
Yeah, not relative to the meeting itself, but I did share with President's Council that fortunately I do very minimal things on Zoom anymore, and I said I'm an absolutely terrible Zoom student, that I found myself multitasking and probably not paying as good attention as I should have, but no.
Kennard.
Yes, you see when you go to the MCCA meetings, the incredible diversity and variety at community colleges in this state. We're all very different, which I think really is a very good basis for how we are governed completely locally. This board is responsible to the local taxpayers, the local voters. We do not respond to a state organization, and it works very, very well for what we have.
I agree. And I also learned more about our tribal colleges as well, and very, very interesting. And of course, that's a completely different governance structure, but.
Okay, any other questions for Pam? Great job, Pam, we appreciate that.
Thank you.
Next, we're going to move on to the consent items, and I wanted to open it up for any changes or discussion. And I see none, and so with that, I would recommend the following K through S be approved. Can I get a motion, please?
So moved.
And support?
Support?
All in favor? Excuse me, any discussion? No more? Okay, and with that, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Same sign. And the motion carries. Thank you. Next, on to the action items. Item T, the certification of taxes. And to start off, I would ask for a motion to recommend the adoption of the resolution to authorize the millage rate of 1.9788 mils to be levied for operational purposes in the fiscal year of 2027.
I'll move.
And do I hear a second?
Second.
And I'd like to open it up for any discussion. No discussion. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. And the motion carries. Thank you. Next, the adoption of budgets and tuition rates. I need a motion to recommend the adoption of the budget resolutions and budgets based upon the tuition and rates fees for fiscal year 2027 as presented.
So moved.
Support.
Okay. Any discussion? And all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. And the motion carries. Thank you. Item V, next, bond sale ratification resolution. I need a motion to recommend the adoption of the bond sale ratification resolution as prepared by bond counsel and presented by the administration related to the 2026 community college facilities bonds.
So moved.
And a second?
Support.
Okay, thank you, Laura. Any discussion? None? Okay, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. And the motion carries. Next, item W, blanket purchase orders. I need a motion to recommend authorization for administration to create blanket purchase orders for each vendor identified on the presented spreadsheet for the total of the estimated cost for fiscal year 2027.
So moved.
Okay, second, Pam? Yeah? Okay, and any discussion?
Yeah, I just have a question. What
Yes.
was the total number last year?
Troy, do you have any?
The total from last year,
Yeah.
the total amount was 6.4 million.
Thank you.
Okay, any other discussion? Okay, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed, same sign. And with that, the motion carries. Thank you. Next, item X, board policies. And so I would like a motion to recommend the adoption of the following board policies on a first reading basis.
So moved.
Support.
Okay, and any discussion? None? Okay, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And opposed, same sign. And the item passes. Next, item Y, Foundation Board Appointments. A motion to recommend approval of the reappointment of Matt Desmond, Peg Yankov, Jane Moore, Pat Warner, Mary Pletcher, for an additional 3-year term to the NMC Foundation Board commencing July 1st, 2026, and ending June 30th of 2029.
So moved.
Okay, Laura,
Support.
thank you. And Jody, second. Thank you. Any discussion? None? Okay. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And opposed, same sign. Okay, and with that, that motion passes. Thank you. And next, item Z, closed session. Like to get a motion to recommend that the board adjourn the open session and consider in closed session an annual mid-year performance evaluation of the president per his request for a closed session. And with that, a roll call vote. A motion first, please.
So moved.
And a second. Thank you. And with that, a roll call. Lynn?
Pam Moore,
Yes.
Ken Warner,
Yes.
Andy Robichuk,
Yes.
Henry Weaver,
Yes.
Jody Lundquist,
Yes?
Laura Ottinger,
Yes.
Mark Field.
Yes.
We're staying in this room.
I think we're going to stay.
Yes.
Yep, we're going to ask that for the closed session, if everyone could step out. Last, any follow-up requests?
A request was made for a study session.
And just also, we're working on something now that's related to AI, and we're trying to secure a community college. He's an expert in community college technology delivery. He's been working specifically on AI delivery for community colleges for more than a decade, and is highly considered probably the preeminent expert introduced to me by our own Ken Warner here. So that, for me, is what we're focused on immediately, but noted in, I would love to be able to get a retreat on the books too and try to cram it in before Laura leaves us, so she has to spend the night with us all again and before she gets out of town.
No more sleepovers.
All right, fine.
I would suggest you may want to wait till after MAC for
Right.
topics, because you may get a bunch
We-
of things.
yeah,
That's a good point.
We're unlikely to be able to get it done probably before.
No, I'm
then.
not saying beforehand, I was saying topic-wise, not
Sure, sure.
doing it beforehand.
Oh, yeah, sure. But I would, Lynn, like to follow up with the AI conversation that we've had so far. I think I would love to get more back from you about that. And with that, any other discussion? We are adjourned. Where are we at, Andy?
A little over 7?